Jeremy, we are on the physical set.
That's amazing.
At Sight and Sound of Queen Esther. I mean, I cannot believe it.
I cannot believe we're allowed to be on the stage.
I know, they let us.
This is so big and so grand. It's even bigger when you see it in person. You've seen, on TV and the commercials.
Yes.
This is amazing.
It's absolutely beautiful. And oh my gosh, look who we've stumbled upon.
What? Oh my
gosh. Emily and
Hello.
Dan. So good to see you. We are here with the stars of Queen Esther herself, and King Xerxes. Whoa, we are in the presence of royalty. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
It's good to see you too. Thanks for coming out.
So before we get started, can you tell us your real names and the characters and a little bit about your character?
Yes, so my name is Emily Baker. I have the honor of playing Queen Esther, and she is just the coolest person. She loves the Lord. She's thrown into a lot of really crazy circumstances, but we just see her strength and her courage throughout the whole show.
That's amazing.
Oh, and Dan?
Yeah, my name is Dan Culleney, and I play King Xerxes in the show. Not the villain, but kind of a villainous role towards the beginning until he has a little bit of a change at the end. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love that. And this set, let's just walk and talk.
Yeah, let's walk and
about
talk.
This is absolutely amazing. It must give you goosebumps to come out on this stage every night.
It actually does, yeah. It's just the most beautiful.
It is. How big is the cast?
We have over 50 cast members in this show. Yeah.
That's a lot of memorization.
Yeah.
And I asked before, but you have been a part of this particular program since 2023. But you say it still keeps you alive. You still have that fire in for Queen Esther.
Absolutely, yeah. We get obviously a different audience every day. We get a different response to the show. It's live theater, so it's always fresh and new, and yeah, ton of fun. Yeah.
What is the training process like? Because I know Sight and Sound likes to change up their shows. There's a new one coming in next year. What is the rehearsal process like? And do you have weeks or months? How fast do you have to learn the shows?
Yeah, so the cast actually comes in right towards the end of the process. We come in sometime in January, depending on if it's a brand new show or if it's one we've done before. And then we'll normally open sometime in March. So we have just a couple months to throw the whole thing together.
Wow.
You make it sound so easy.
Yeah.
Just a couple months to throw
Just a
it
couple
together. I
months.
mean, my goodness. Okay, I got to know, what is it like working with live animals? And I really thought the elephant was a real one.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, you are not
You're
the
not
only
the
one,
only
that's
one.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, I'll tell you that. Working with animals, it's always a different experience. You
Yeah.
never know what you're going to get, but they train us really well to be able to see how the animal's feeling and make sure it's a safe situation, but always different. Every day is a new
Yeah.
adventure.
Yeah.
So since you play Queen Esther, I'm curious, do you have any quick changes? Like, the stage is so big. I cannot imagine having to be out here, make a quick change, come back, and all the patterns you have to memorize with the huge cast.
Yes, so I actually have about 16 to 17 costume changes in this show alone.
Oh my gosh.
And just about all of them are quick changes. So I have a dresser with me the entire show, and she's the best. She makes sure that I'm wearing the right thing, and then I run out on stage and I do the thing.
She does it.
I know. And as a former performer, theatrical performer, do you ever have those dreams still where you're like, what's my line? I forgot my line. Or do you ever have those moments before you actually get on stage? Or is it so ingrained that you're on it?
Yeah, it is very much ingrained at this point.
Yeah.
But truly, if you allow yourself to get too much into autopilot, that can happen. And so it's just constantly focusing right before the scene, going, all right, where am I right now? Let's get this thing going. So, yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because just this week
Yeah.
I had a work dream where our vocal director gave me a note that he's given me before, and I had a dream and I woke up and I was like, oh yeah, I have to do that. So
See? It's
Yeah.
all around you.
yeah.
So, of all the shows you've done with Sight and Sound, how does Queen Esther rank?
It's my favorite for a lot of reasons, but honestly, it's just one of the most visually stunning shows we've ever done. It's the biggest set piece Sight and Sound has ever made, and so I just love that it is so big, so grand and beautiful, and yet it's so detailed, and that's just kind of the heart of our story in general, is that it can be so big, so vast, and we don't really see or understand all the details, but God does, and He's in every single one, and so I love that the visual aspects of the show also mirror the heart of the show.
That was so well said.
I know.
That was beautiful.
Dan, anything to
I don't
add?
know if I can compete with it, but we'll try, yeah. I love the story of the show. Each one of the shows we do has a powerful story, but this one in particular, it resonates with people. There's a lot of comedy there towards the end. There's a huge payoff at the end, so that's what I love about this one. So I would say this is my favorite as well.
Well, there's always something exciting, but since we're on this set, Maddie, I had an idea.
Yes.
Do you guys mind if we just walk over there just a little bit? Maddie, let's head over
One
here.
second. Look at us. We are on the balcony of the palace. I feel like a queen. But this has a very, special, maybe sentimental aspect of the show, correct?
Yes, after Xerxes and Esther meet, we sing a little duet, and this is where it starts.
Yeah.
This is so great.
I know.
Oh my gosh, guys, you have to see this in person. For such a time as this, to see Queen Esther at Sight and Sound Theater in Branson.
Oh my gosh, Dan and Emily were just the sweetest, and 17 costume changes for Emily. I can barely dress myself in like a minute just getting out the door.
Well, here's the thing that Maddie and I were most curious about. That stage is huge. The set is huge. I was like, how do you do all those quick changes and not fall down all those stairs? All the back ways, there's
spiral staircases.
Spirals and then small hallways and this and that. I was just amazed about the traffic patterns that must be backstage during the show.
And we asked them, and I don't think this is giving too much away, but they have little tape cues of where they need to be, because there are so many different moving parts of the set alone, and then all the actors on stage, even the animals on stage, all have a mark. It's an amazing show, so go check it out. But I did ask Emily, Queen Esther, do you still have dreams of where you forget your lines? And you admitted to crocheting.
Oh, I crochet.
So this was sophomore year of high school. I wrote down my minute-long monologue in my little binder. So as I was acting on stage for people, I was looking down at it, reading it, and coming back up like I was supposed to be, reading something. It was my whole monologue because I could not get it in my head.
I bet that was not obvious at all.
No, I played it off really well. Now, the guy next to me who was acting, he totally looked down and poo-pooed on me, but I was like, hey, guess what? Nailed it.
Now, I have heard rumors, Maddie, you might be following in the footsteps of some very famous people. I've heard the cast of Friends used to put down their lines in the bowl of fruit on the table at Monica's apartment.
And I did this before I even knew about Friends. So I'm just saying, I kind of set the tone.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I am all in favor of bringing back the old-fashioned cue cards.
Thank you.
Write them on a big, SNL still does that.
Isn't that crazy? Now, that I feel would be hard because I'd be squinting at them. Even though I have contacts, I'd be like, what? Oh, yeah, I'm
But
acting.
Maddie, have they ever heard of a teleprompter? That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what I'm wondering.
Have they ever heard of one?
Hey, they're keeping it old school at SNL.
No. But if you are in Branson, there's so many great shows to see here in Branson. Make sure you check that out. And the whole cast, we were there. The cast, everybody was so kind, and they said that they're really going to have a hard time letting go of the show because they love it so much, and they're bringing in the new show next year, so you can check that out.
Yeah,
all right.
Sure. All right, you guys, lots more fun on Ozarks Fox AM coming up after this live from Branson.